Welcome to the Babyfurcast, the forefront for her pedophilic anthropomorphic news. Today could be considered a special episode, one of my own creation. Credit can't go all to me though. They're the goons I locked in the meat locker. Oh God, I'm your debatably charismatic host, Kratos Creed, and with me here are my two esteemed besties. Mind introducing yourselves?
I'd actually rather not. I have nothing to do with this podcast. When my agent sees this after
Oh,
I'm fucking rich and famous,
oh,
my name will not be attached to it. My
oh
alias, which
no.
is Kenemon for the record, I will be going by Ken in this podcast with two N's. It is very pronounceable. It is completely off the record. None of this exists.
They aren't here. It's just an audio glitch.
My name is Odd. That's Zero DDERTY. I've been here before. This is my second debut. Can't wait to meet friends and make new people.
I don't think that's how I don't know if a second debut is a thing. Just heads up. It's like
day
this
two.
This episode, it's about a game all three of us have played and loved. It's the Danganronpa series.
Oh fuck yes!
Except the third one. It's a very it's a game about when you have a guy who solved mysteries at school. That's what it's about. You play as
Murder mystery shooter with dating simulator elements.
And you can pistol whip your bitch. That's a feature in game. All right, so
exclusively Toko.
Yeah.
Toko the game.
All right. So my
Toko Fukawa the game, the movie, the novel, the video game adaptation.
Good for her. I'm glad. All right. So my director, aka Dark Green Espeon, guided me into saying that I should explain a bit about what the series is at first. So when I was really aiming to go for more of a like we already know what's happening, but this is more of, I guess, to his demands, which I hate succumbing to, but whatever. This is a more of an introductory course plus some general discussion, so I think
so is this Danganronpa 101?
It's a let me tell you about Danganronpa.
Oh fucking
yes, sir. All right, so I think we should
real quick
first game.
Question about the format
quick.
though. Because if this is an introductory thing, does that mean that we're sort of sticking away from spoilers? Will we have like a spoiler section and a non-spoiler section?
No. Fucking hell no. We are going full in on the spoilers. No. This is a video for people who have heard about the games and okay, unless Kraid is fucking contradicting me here and I'm speaking out my
I
ass.
don't give a shit. I just want to talk about the funny game with Makoto.
You mean Makuro?
Who?
Did you guys remember the scene in Trigger Happy Havoc whenever Makoto he fell over and everyone laughed at him? And fucking Ishimaru started kicking him in the side and beating him to death.
I think that they went a little bit too far with that joke, honestly. The part where Kirigiri starts spitting on him and calling him slurs, I mean, Christ, just a little bit too extreme for me.
Man, in the second game the second game where Sonya starts just breaking out like the most racist Asian slurs she can because she's the only white one. That was pretty fucked up. When she elaborated
away with it.
When she elaborated on how Novoselic supported the Axis powers, that was sort of fucked up. But the Axis powers was yeah, I think I got that right.
Yeah, you got it. Axis powers. I watched Italian.
One for history points.
Yeah.
We're going full in. We're going full in on spoilers. I do want to do one thing before we start discussing the first game, which is I know how Odd got into Danganronpa because it was me and a bunch of his friends that just peer pressured him relentlessly into playing.
I'll go back on it. rewinding the tape a little bit to the Odd story. So Odd and Odd Group, some of my friends at school, we basically have a quasi ironically named gamer club, so to speak, where we play various video games. We started doing it as an ironic playthrough of the god-awful video game Y2K, a postmodern RPG. We'll have to get to that one of these days. And then we sort of continued through actually good games and occasionally really bad games. And because Danganronpa is kind of both, in that it's a really good game with the fucking cheesy and campiness of a game that just completely off the fucking walls bonkers, we decided to play that, but it was pretty late into the end of the year, so we couldn't really fit everything in. So we weren't sure if we were just going to abandon the playthrough. So eventually the idea came up to just me buying the game myself, playing it through it, and posting my reactions to everyone. And I think I brought it up to Ken at one point, and Ken just basically flipped this and it was like, you need to play Danganronpa. No, don't watch the anime. You need to play Trigger Happy Havoc. And eventually
do not watch the fucking anime. As soon as Odd came to me, because one of the people in this gamer club suggested, "Oh, we just watched the fucking anime," I was like, "No, fuck no, you're not getting the full experience."
So
they're not really
bought this motherfucker
understanding.
the game.
We basically played together up to the end of the first trial. We watched the anime version of the second trial, and then I bought the game and went through the entire thing. Or more accurately, Ken bought the game for me, so I literally had no choice but to continue playing through this fucking.
He's your sugar daddy in this situation. He's the giver. He gives you the goods. He extended
I am the
extended
Byakuya Togami.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I went over this earlier.
His hand and watched as you ate the oats that's Danganronpa, the oats in the situation that you, the horse, are eating, that the man put his hand out for you to eat. That's Danganronpa.
This is a long metaphor.
To be clear,
I know that.
This is partially through the. I think I brought this up earlier with some of you guys, but I canonically determined that my my Rule 34 or my Rule 63 universe equivalent of myself, the girl oddity, is definitely Toko. So it's not an entirely inaccurate statement. I would be the fucking shitter Fujo. It just.
Yeah, no, that's probably right.
I don't even want to imagine Girl Ken. It haunts me. But so that's the Odd backstory.
Ken is
that's
just
how
how
we got into this. Yeah.
What's the Ken backstory?
No, I want to get the Crate backstory first because I'm sure that mine is chronologically. I think I got chronologically into Danganronpa the first out of all three of us.
Right. Cut to maybe 2016. I'm still using Skype. This is it's like in shitty back movies whenever people are using to show us the 80s, they're wearing stupid fucking vibrant shit and they have the brick phone. I'm using Skype,
and there's synth pop playing in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of synth pop,
Teenage Wasteland in the background.
Yes. So my friend, he has an MMD icon, and I say, "Hey, what's that? Why?" He talked about how it's making a lot of people mad for some reason, and I asked him who is it, and he says, "Oh, it's a character from a game." That was my first dip. I later found out that character was named Najito Komaeda.
God fucking damn it!
It was he linked the video, and it was an MMD video of him dancing, and I watched it. And
was it the one with Sam's?
Eventually, no, it was an unironic one. That I'm pretty sure that wasn't even out yet. Anyways.
Yeah. Fingers in his ass is a whole later thing.
Anyways, eventually our friend group grows, and I get peer pressured into playing it. Well, I rejected it until I said, "Oh, everyone but me is talking about this." Okay, and then
does anyone play Danganronpa for reasons that?
Played 2.
Actually, before we get to
you were saying something.
Number one, does anyone play this Danganronpa franchise through not peer pressure? I guess that'll be into.
I did.
And the second,
I played it by my own fucking volition.
Yikes!
No, my story is just about guns, so go ahead. I need to hear.
The second part is No, all right, then
What?
we'll start with there. You can go first. I have a thought on the
All right,
overall
all right.
trilogy structure.
So, children, let me tell you a story winding back to the olden, the prehistorical days of summer 2013 on Tumblr, because the Homestuck fandom has just hit a pause. It is on break, it is on hiatus, and people are going fucking insane, right? They're desperately reaching out to any new fandoms to get a hold onto. One such fandom that is grasped by the hands of the Tumblr Homestuck fandom is this not very well known indie game called Off, which received like an English translation just around that time, despite being a French game from like 2003. And so everyone got fucking super into Off. The other thing that everybody on Tumblr around that time got into was Danganronpa, which, if keen-eared viewers might notice the date, 2013 summer was before Danganronpa got localized as Trigger Happy Havoc. It was instead a brave Japanese translator posted his playthrough online, and it was a live let's play of it, and he would translate each of the segments and painstakingly like lay them out in visual novel format. So that was how most people consumed Danganronpa, and it was how I consumed it too. There are a few notable differences in Oren Ronan, who is that brave Japanese citizen, translation from the actual game. Some characters' names are spelled differently. Everyone is referred to as their last name, so when all of these characters are, I think of Chihiro more as Fujisaki than I do as Chihiro, which is going to be a shock. But I have a few differences. I have a few differences in the way I learn things, but it also means that I am a storied legacy Danganronpa fan.
Oh, yeah,
and when the games actually got localized, I bought them and played them too. Yeah,
all the kids mess with his shop
longer...
until they fucking knock something over, and the old man tells them a story about the stupid fucking game.
I take a sip from my Monster Energy. Now something awful.
Odd was
Those
playing
were the
basketball,
days.
and Odd didn't play basketball so good, so he got bullied into the shop. And then Ken told him a story, and then when it was done, he said, "Hey kid, want to SS?" Except it wasn't SS. It was just S.
It was just S, dude. It's just S. No double S needed. Yeah, I'm the Danganronpa boomer. I've been playing this shit forever, so I have some. This shit goes like way back into my fucking nostalgia. I have a lot of things to say about it.
I'm newer to it,
so,
but yes, let's go ahead.
Let's start.
First,
great. Why don't you give us the opening to Danganronpa 1?
So first and foremost, you find yourself you're some little gay ass kid named Makoto. He's talking about how he's like stupid as hell. Isn't very smart none. Everyone just sort of pities him and hates him. They beat the shit out of him multiple times, and he goes into a school that's like for the best people ever. So if you're super good at something, they kidnap you and bring you to the school against your will.
The kidnapping comes later.
You. Well, I mean,
they grab you legally. They grab you by the skull.
Legally.
They grab you by the skull, and you have 5 minutes to consent, or else they throw you into the fucking air. All right, but
dude,
nonetheless,
when Hope's Peak invites you to the academy, they show up with fucking Sakura Ogami, and if you don't accept within the first 5 minutes, she just fucking grabs you by the cranium and throws you up into the air and just watches you fall.
It's the timeline or whatever of the actual timeline of the Trigger Happy Havoc or whatever. Naegi walks into school on the first day. He's like sitting in the classroom waiting for class to begin. He sees Leon flung in through a window.
he smashes it. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. So you're a kid who you're going to the school for the best people ever. and you're not the best people ever. This kid's sort of a retard, you know. He's not he never really got to be a smart person, you know. So he got picked because he's lucky, and they do a random ballot, whatever. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
how
a
you
ballot.
say that word?
It was
I
like a
don't know. I live
drawing.
under a rock. Yeah, so they
lottery.
did
A
a
lottery.
random one, and he got picked. So you go into the school, and immediately you get hit with like crazy purple knockout gas that it goes straight into his nostrils and causes a full shutdown of his brain. So
And
he wakes.
then he wakes up, as you will, right, in a puddle of his own fucking drool. And do we talk about the how long it's been since he passed out, or do we save that for the end?
I
we
feel
should-
like we should like, are we gonna go over the entire story of Danganronpa? Are we just gonna sort of go over the premise? Go over like are we going case by case? Are we just saying the setting up the premise?
I think it's better to talk about just the general premise rather than going like in painstaking detail about every case.
Exactly.
Well, so does that mean that we should say what's going on, or?
Yes, I think we should. I think we should. That is my vote.
Okay, so
All right, then.
in the plot, it's presented as you're asleep for like 2 seconds, but really it's been like 5 billion years. Right?
It's been a billion years. The fucking period of the Earth is over. It's moved on to a new epic. Dinosaurs are back on the fucking ground.
Yeah, the scene where the detective character, she's talking about really smart shit, and the T-Rex just bites her head off and swings her around. The entire class screams at the top
The
of their
logo
lungs.
fades in. The logo fades in. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You hear a dung. You hear like the chimes going on. Doom, doom, doom. Monica appears on the screen. Unga boonga, students. A body has been discovered.
Fucking hell.
It'd be really great if they made like a spin-off where it crosses over with like an American media and they're saying all this super smart shit, and like midway into the fucking thing you find out they're only speaking English to the audience. They're speaking Japanese normally.
Yeah.
So the
it's-
characters from the crossover, they don't understand jack shit.
Anya
So-
has not actually been listening to a single thing in the entirety of Danganronpa 2. She's been pretending to know what's going on.
Yeah, she's pretty sure this is like some hell land where a bear kidnapped her.
Yeah, no,
It is a hell
it's
land where a
been
bear kidnapped her.
It
But-
is literally a hell land, especially in 2. But no, what happened is the bear fucking knocked them out, and then or like it fucking knocked them out after they had done 4 years of high school, or like 3 years or something like that. And so
That
they've
means they're
gone through the
legal, of
entirety
course.
of high school without them knowing. Yeah,
That's what you need to focus on. They're
And they-
legal. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, this
that's
bear,
like-
which
and,
who's-
That's how you know what.
Can we retcon can we not call the black and white bear by his real name and just call him Despair for the entire podcast?
Fucking
So
hell.
I'm kind
Dark
of
Green
disappointed.
doesn't know
I find it hilarious that we've spoiled the main twist of game 1 already, namely that they have already passed through their 4 years of high school before they were kidnapped, and that we've skipped there, but we haven't said the name of the main antagonist of Danganronpa 1, Monokuma. It's the bear.
Yeah,
The
okay,
bear is
so
not-
fucking
I was
robot
gonna-
bear is there.
So they've been kidnapped
Like,
they've been kidnapped in the school Hope Speak Academy, and they have been kidnapped by this bear Monokuma, who has forced them into a very stereotypical death game. That's like Fortnite for all you kiddies, except before Fortnite. Wherein they
Like
have to
Saw? If Saw was in high school.
also Fortnite.
Wow.
Yeah. It's it's like if Saw was Japan. So it's
Battle
pretty
Royale.
cool.
What? Saw Japan. It makes it sound like a fucking amusement park.
So Monokuma has locked these kids in and basically set up a very simple condition. You are trapped in here forever, and you can never see the outside world again unless you kill someone. But killing someone has a catch. If you kill someone, the other students have to go around the school investigating, figuring out who killed the person, and if they find out the right person who killed them, the students get to live to see another day. And if the killer gets away with it, then all of the students that are not the killer are instantly killed. And noted that
Right.
if the
And
killer is
this
found
is-
out and killed, the killer will have their own special, wacky, ridiculous execution sequences, which form some of the biggest set pieces of the franchise.
Right, like Leon fucking getting stoned to death by baseballs across a fucking baseball pole in a batter's cage is one of the most fucking name a more iconic sequence in video games.
There's a more iconic sequence in Danganronpa.
Yeah.
I like the one where
it
she's
stuck with me for a fucking while.
I like the one in the first game where she's it's like a really ambient like witch trial burning, and then there's just a fucking fire truck that hits her. That's my favorite
Fucking
one.
Phenomenal. It was great.
I had
just wish
people
there was more
disagree
fucking
with
blood and
me.
shit in the fire
People
truck.
that introduced me
Yeah.
to it. I had people disagree with me that they were supposed to be
that's-
funny.
What? No, that's whatever. I don't care.
I think that as the series goes, I'll get into this a little bit later. I don't know when you guys, because I have a thought on like the structure of Danganronpa series, like 1, 2, and 3. We're not going to be talking about 3, but like just the nature of the series itself and how it kind of parallels a lot of other things. But suffice to say, Danganronpa as a franchise starts out in a very like dark and like it very much starts out in the manner of like a lot of early 2010s like detective crime stories where it's very like gritty and stylized and edgy. And then, like, pretty quickly into the first game, it starts getting gradually sillier until by the end, it's kind of fucking insane. And then the second game takes that as a starting point and rolls with it. And I hear the third game takes that even further. The game kind of, it's not silly necessarily in the sense that you don't take things seriously. It's silly in the sense that things are ridiculous. And the executions follow that. So while Leon's is an incredibly brutal and, like, he literally gets stoned to death by baseballs, later executions like Celeste's are very silly and like a nice punchline to them. And even later executions are literally, she gets tied to a syringe and sent into space XD.
It's not even a fucking syringe. It's not even a
pitch
syringe. It's a fist.
You
What the fuck does the
you
fist
use
have
the
to do
word
with anything?
stone, so I
What about it?
make a new pitch for Danganronpa, but it's in the Middle East.
Oh god, oh fuck.
The big twist in Danganronpa is that they've been at school with each other for 4 years, and the person behind the robot bear is one of the students who is the worst character ever, and she gives them an ultimatum. She gives the surviving students an ultimatum. She says either fucking stay in the school with food and shit your whole life, or go outside because the apocalypse is outside. And they choose.
I remember when she was Makoto was holding her dying corpse in his hands. She was violently crushed. She looked like a pancake that was slowly reinflating. Makoto was holding the pancake Junko in his hands, and he said, "Why did you do it?" And she says, "In this world, it's 4chan or Reddit. I'm gonna be 4chan."
Let me see those upvotes.
So, can we get? I can't really get into my thoughts on the main antagonist of Danganronpa 1 yet, because a lot of my thoughts on her are very much based on my impressions of later games in the series. However, suffice it to say that
you can say all you want about Junko in 1.
All right. Well, the only thoughts on Junko in 1 are the same as everyone else's on Junko in 1. Junko in 1 sucks. She's a very strange, weird, LOL so random type of character who kind of shows up at the end, makes on a bunch of weird, absurdist personalities, and none of them sort of make any sort of coherent sense. And she just kind of starts splatting Kingdom Hearts platitudes at you until, like, Naegi just gets tired of this bullshit and just starts screaming hope at the top of his lungs until Junko gets tired and tries to kill herself. Or tries to pretend to kill herself, but then fails at pretending to kill herself and accidentally kills herself. It's stupid.
It'd be funny if she was beaten by. It'd be funny if the end of the game where she, instead of like them solving the mystery, one day Junko just falls she's leaning in her chair and she falls and cracks her skull open. And they never find out what happened because she's
That's
dead.
probably what happens in the timeline where Kirigiri dies. Like, that's probably what Junko just dies of like starvation and boredom at one point, and no one else notices. Togami is too busy fucking Aoi to just even care. So, because I feel like we haven't gone over to Happy Havoc enough, do you guys want to just go over, like, should we go over the character roster, like, just to see what our thoughts on them are, and sort of go over real quick what their point in the story is?
Sure, anyone can bring up any character at any time. We don't have to go in any specific order.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the, like, DR... I'm just going to bring up the DR1 cast so that, as a picture or whatever, into the chat real quick, just to show, like, who the characters
that works
actually
too, because
are.
we can list our opinions on them. This is nigh unlistenable
I guess so.
in the future, but you know what? It's fun.
Sorry.
I have, of course, memorized all of the characters in every Danganronpa off the top of my head, because I've been doing this shit for eons. But, like,
shit. I'll post one and whatever. I'll post one version or whatever, a really shitty version, and then DG can find like a better picture of the entire cast to go over later, like when he's going over it. All right, so
if he even wants to put the picture.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. Okay.
So
this is not your chart, by the way. You did not make this.
Yeah, no. I literally just typed DR1 cast in the Google search. You can find it easily.
Great.
So let's start out with like the lead characters. I'd say in Danganronpa 1 would probably be in order. The top row, basically. It's Naegi, the protagonist, Kirigiri, the lead detective who does all the work and is quasi the love interest, Aoi, who is sort of like the one everyone wants to fuck, and also the one who gets like a lot of sort of a character arc over time, and Sayaka, the bait and switch harem ending, who doesn't appear in the story for long, but is sort of integral to the vibe and structure of it, really.
Yeah. I do have things to say about Sayaka, especially because right off the bat, because everybody who hasn't played games like these before will be suckered into thinking Sayaka will live. Because she is so fucking flat and annoying and on the protagonist's dick all the goddamn time. She is covered in death flags, but only if you haven't played these type of games before. If you've played like shitty, trashy VNs where the protagonist just gets a harem for no reason, then Sayaka would absolutely stay the sidekick the whole time. And this is further evidenced by her fucking her psychic shit, which is like a thing that they do like in detective novels and shit, where like it's even in like Professor Layton, where the detective is cool and then the sidekick has like a special supernatural ability. In Layton, fucking Professor Layton's sidekick can like talk to animals or some shit. So like that's something that they do. And they completely fucking bait and switch her into dying first.
It's part of DR1's like biggest strength and biggest weakness is that DR1 is like, not say there are good moments later on, but DR1 is such a ridiculously front-loaded game because the entire premise basically works on this massive bait and switch so it pushes up all these like really probably the best designed characters in the game personally, like Sayaka and Junko, in your face really early on and kills them both off in prompt time. Like Leon might have been going somewhere, who fucking knows? He dies too early on, and like just the first 2 to 3 trials are just very much set on this idea of what the game is going to be like, and by killing off all the characters you kind of want to live early on, it sets you up into a weird bind where you're not really sure who to root for in the later trials, which is good and bad because some of the characters that are left behind are very interesting. Kirigiri kind of carries second half. Aoi's development is really fun. Seeing that Sakura as a character, like you'll see her.
Let's not forget our fucking boy Byakuya Togami.
I have a lot of problems with Togami, but we'll get to Togami later. But a lot of the cast,
mean
like
my legal husband, yes, but Byako.
You're also left with fucking weed man Knuckles, whose name I refuse to commit to memory because he sucks.
Are so okay. Fucking Odd hates Weed Man for some reason. I can't fathom why.
I'm just gonna call him Scott Bakula.
I legit hate him more than the
Scott Bakula.
No, his name is not Scott Bakula.
I hate him more than the fucking than the obligatory pervert character in this game. I hate him more than the obligatory pervert character in the second game.
Okay,
Fumi is objectively the strongest Danganronpa character. His noodle legs support his entire body. Do you know how fucking strong he must be?
If he kicked Monokuma, it would burst and reveal the very tiny Junko hiding inside of it.
You made me imagine like a shitty 3D model of Hamtaro. That's his name. You made me imagine like a really shitty 3D model of him being put over the city escape level, where his legs are just moving really fast. I don't know why my brain made
me where your mind went to.
it's just
thinking like Men in Black style, like
his stomach.
Christ! All right, Fumi ruined this whole discussion.
But yeah, no, that's the top row though is very much like the lead to the story. So after Sayaka sort of dies, we move on to I guess what you could probably consider the Kirigiri section, and probably the Togami section of the story actually.
Yeah.
Right below Sayaka.
I mean, it's debatable. Actually, I don't know. I think Makoto actually did a lot in Trial 3, but Trial 2 was the fucking Togami show.
Yeah, like
where he.
You know that meme of it's the people with John, and they're saying, "John, do what I say." That's literally Makoto's character.
Sayaka's like, Naegi, do what I say. Kirigiri's like, Naegi, do what I say. Togami, we are moving into the final trial. I hope you're prepared to do what I say, Naegi.
That's exactly what it goddamn is, and it's sad because he's a little cuck, you know. He's what's the song you link sometimes? Odd.
I am a cuck, Tim Heidecker.
Yeah, that's it. That's his goddamn anthem. That's his party rock anthem.
You may call Makoto a cuck right now, but just remember, by the end, who's railing Kirigiri, and fucking by the spin-off game,
Kirigiri is railing him.
Railing Toko. Okay, Kirigiri is railing him. That's fine, but
he's still
railing him.
He still wins.
We'll say
So wait. Odd. What are your feelings about Byakuya Togami?
My feelings on Togami, and they'll be cleared up a little bit more when we get there too, is that Togami, I was expecting him to become like a better person eventually, but he really, really never does.
I don't know why you don't like that though.
I'm fine with Togami as is. I'm just like the problem with the end cast of DR1
progression is unhelpful dick that wants to lead you along to prove how great he is to guy that you can maybe bother for helping you sometimes if he's feeling like it. And I love it.
My problem with the end cast of DR1 is that over half of them really didn't go anywhere. Kirigiri helps you when she's a good person, but she really doesn't go that far as a character. Naegi has not he's still an anime shonen protagonist. Aoi has the most development. Weedman sucks and he should die. Togami is just kind of slightly less of a prick now. And
like that.
Toko has gone nowhere. Genocider Jack is based. We'll get to her later, but she is also gone. None of the characters feel like they've really gone through any major trials because all the characters that did died for it.
Yeah.
DR2 is
I like this.
Wait, what were you saying?
I didn't have anything to say.
He wasn't saying fucking anything. Keep going now.
When we get to DR2, it'll be easier to compare against because the final crew or whatever that leaves in DR2 is notable because they basically all, except for probably Soda, basically have all gone.
Sonya! Oh!
We'll get to Soda later, but they've basically all gone through something, and they've all become better people through their experiences, or at least different people. Like Komaida's arc, he's not part of the surviving cast, but Komaida's arc is a fucking beauty to watch. it's poetry in motion, and I'll get to my thoughts on him later. But versus the
And
DR1 cast,
Stablisca.
where half the characters are just stable, and the victory again at the end against Monokuma and Junko at the end feels really hollow because the only characters I really want to be happy, or not that I want all the characters to be happy, but the only characters I really feel like have earned any sort of happy ending are Makoto, Naegi, and Aoi. And even Makoto and Kirigiri, like, their earned happiness, it's good, but they're really only good together. I like them together as individual characters. My feelings on them are just kind of, they're all right. I like them. I understand saying this is a really big sin around, because I know that Ken is huge for Kirigiri types in general, and I can understand that.
You know what? Fuck Dark Green. I'm not. We shouldn't try to we aren't, and I'm just reinforcing this. We aren't pandering to people that haven't played the game.
You've already spoiled
Because,
the major twists.
Yeah, exactly. But there's not much getting across if you haven't played the game, which is fine because we reference goddamn webcomic willy-nilly and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, it's fine. I think it's good that we, like, somewhat elaborate on some of the events we're talking about. We don't just say our thoughts randomly. We like it's the sort of thing where, like, if you enjoy it, you either like Danganronpa and you already know what we're talking about, or maybe you just don't care to, like, you don't want to play Danganronpa, which is a bad opinion. You should play Danganronpa, you random audience in the background that's definitely listening to this. But, like, you know, because sometimes I'll listen to, like, a story or whatever. I'll listen to podcasts of someone talking about, like, something they like, then I don't really have any intention to see it myself, but, like, being able to hear the thoughts and going over things that happen is just fun because the personalities are really energetic and engaging. Not that we're that, but, you know.
Yeah,
we don't have to, like...
Great. Everyone loves me. I'm a classic character.
Everyone loves him. You hear that, audience? Everybody loves him.
Oh, you're wrong. Sorry.
All right, so we've gone over basically the entire front. What are our thoughts on Aoi?
Okay,
Aoi's bland,
so
but whatever.
I know that Peter fucking hates her. I don't know if Peter's been on this podcast before, but a very dear mutual friend of ours just does not like her at all because he thinks she's fucking. But I really think that, like, of the surviving cast, she is fucking integral. Like, there is no, like, you can't trust Makoto to be doing all of the heavy lifting.
Integral, more
shit.
like Intergirl.
Penetration.
Dark Green, please play the Final Fantasy laughing clip over that. And edit me asking for that out. Don't. I don't care. Anyway.
All right.
Why do I ruin this podcast?
No, Crate, see, you're our Aoi. You are our emotional core. We would fall apart into tiny logical pieces without you.
He's probably Komaeda, but we'll get to that later.
He said his name. He said the guy.
It's him. Hajime.
All right.
I'm being talked about in Danganronpa 1 before Danganronpa 2. Isn't that just hopeless?
So as we transition into 2, I want to give ourselves an exercise in self-control and theoretical self-control. I'll add. For this, you're at you're at the island. You personally have replaced Hajime, and there's no urgency anymore. It's like the dating mode. There's no urgency anymore, and Komaeda is letting on that he wants you in bed. You know, he says, you know what? No plot, nothing. One day you stumble into his house and you find his lanky body, his lanky pale body, his pulsating organs are visible through his thin skin. He's like a toad. His parts are only covered by a thin sheet. He's standing there with the wind blowing on the sheet. You're in the doorway. He's on top of his bed jumping. And he says, "Come on, you want to do something?" He's
So, are you asking us what
question
we
is,
would
would
hypothetically
you?
do in this scenario?
Yes. With
Are you asking? Okay.
I'm just gonna say it right
Dude,
out.
Odd-
Komaeda might be hot, but dating Komaeda is the worst possible decision you can make for yourself and your personal health.
That's why it's self-control, because he's he's
'Cause he's what?
tempting, but he's
Yeah,
tempting,
he's
but
tempting.
it's a forbidden
Look,
fruit. Can you leap over the same goddamn bounds that Eve tumbled over and fucking broke her face?
It's not like
you
it's not even like it's like a
No,
tumble
you-
or like a twig you have to move over. It's like it's like a cliff. It's a gaping. It's the Komaeda cliff, and you look and you've been seeing it for
Komaeda
miles.
Canyon.
and when you fall down it makes a long whistling noise and then a big crash.
Yeah,
Yeah, big
and
crash.
it's like
Or
cartoon
more
style.
like
So
a-
you like
More like
you
a
like
fucking
run over for a little
scorch
bit.
as the fucking like a fucking wet splash as the spear of Gungnir pierces his fucking tiny twink body.
No. This is a scene
It'd be
where
funny.
No, if I walk in Komedo in that situation, I am turning 360 degrees and walking right the fuck away because there is a fucking QT ass fucking gamer girl GF who is all over my dick in the next cabin, and I'm not having any of this.
I'm gonna be real.
But
the
she's not
objectively
real.
best answer is Mahiru. Komaeda is
Oh,
probably
don't
like
even
the
start. Don't even start.
Komaeda is
Don't
probably
even
the
start with that Mahiru bullshit.
third.
Okay,
worst.
wait, Crate. How do you feel about Mahiro Koizumi?
She's fine. She's probably the
Ooh.
most out of all the characters, she's probably the realest, but that's not a compliment. It's
I
like
mean,
out of all the
yeah.
characters, you can believe she exists the most.
Yeah,
I think
all the characters in 2 are exaggerated a lot.
I think I like Mahiro a
It's
lot
fine.
because of that. Like I love the cast of DR2 a lot. We have to actually we'll get to introducing DR2 later, but what I like a lot about Mahiro is that she's sort of like a voice of because for most the beginning of the game or whatever, Hajime is losing his fucking mind because everyone is fucking. He has to deal with Komaeda's bullshit. He has to deal with Soda's bullshit. Fucking Togami is here and he's fat now and he's just fucking going ham on everyone.
Literally Peter Griffin now.
Yeah, and
It's fucking-
and basically in every situation, like versus the first game where basically everyone suspects Makoto for various reasons. Hajime's whole thing at the beginning of the game is that he doesn't really have anyone that he can actively trust because Komaeda's a little bit weird. And Mahiro is sort of that like voice of reason, who is like the only point. Like she might be a little bit angry and tsundere, like you're such a stupid guy, Baka. But at the end of the day, she's probably just she is the grok that Hajime needs in order to survive, and sort of the rock the audience needs to buy all the bullshit that's going on right now.
I got thrown out of the window when Peko said everyone do the flop and she died epically.
It wasn't Peko that said everyone do the flop. It was fucking Fuyuhiko, and then Peko just did it a little bit too hard.
When you really think about it,
movie.
Have you ever thought about the reason why Mikan tied Hiyoko up? The reason why she had tied Hiyoko up when she killed Hiyoko is that littering is illegal on the island. So if Hiyoko's feet touch the ground, she'd be breaking your rule.
Oh man. Okay. So there's definitely a lot of shit posting to be had about these Danganronpa 2 characters. So I'm going to introduce the game really quick. The sequel to the game places the characters on a fucking beach in a direct, stark contrast to the closed, claustrophobic atmosphere of 1. So now they're on an open beach, which should be like antithetical to a horror environment, but it works surprisingly well. The bear is also there for whatever reason, again. And this time he can just fucking manipulate reality?
This time he has a Babyfur counterpart. That's where it all comes
Right.
together.
Also, Monami is
actually has
there.
This
who
actually
is,
has.
I think, the first. Monami is, I think, the first Babyfur to be brought up in the Babyfurcast.
No, the first episode that I'm holding hostage for. The only reason this episode exists right now is because I'm holding my audio for the first episode hostage, where we actually talk about Babyfurs. So,
Oh
yeah,
God, is that what DGE is so fucking mad about? Is that what he's so ass-blasted about?
there is nothing in this goddamn universe he is not mad about. I think you need to get a deeper feel of the character, you know?
DGE, you will watch this and you will edit this. You're understanding you and feeling you deeply and connecting with you on a personal level has been made much easier by the fact when I just accepted that your default emotion was anger. And personally, it's made you so much more endearing to me. Like, honestly.
We'll get into that sentiment at
So
some later
fucking
date. I'm not sure
ridiculous.
when.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Back to the video game.
Back to video games. So it turns out that the plot of Danganronpa 2, why everybody is on the fucking beach island, is because they're in a simulation. They're all actually fucking mega terrorists on the outside, and they're in a simulation to take them back to their high school days, to make them just all bond with each other and be happy friends, so that when they come out, they're not terrorists anymore. And Monokuma was a malignant virus brought in by one of them because they knew this would happen. Specifically, our protagonist, Hajime, brought Monokuma in to just fucking wreak havoc on the island and bait the cast of the last game into coming in to save them so the AI could trap them forever.
Holy shit, they
which
should make
is-
Osama bin Laden the second one.
Oh God, oh fuck.
I'd be okay with it.
Oh no, that's just soda.
Oh no.
Oh,
But not
Soda
so.
bin Laden.
I will say something. The overall structure of Danganronpa as a franchise parallels a lot of other trilogies, I guess, in that not just in film or television, but on those out of music as well, where there usually be like there's the first one that's like really like it's endearing, it's got very rough elements, but it has a very strong like central theme to it or whatever that's very much drawn out. It has some elements to it that kind of like people like to forget about these elements at the beginning of the show because like they're very like different from what the form that it would take later on. And then there's a second one, which is like the series obviously at its most pop appealing. It's just very popular. It's got all the kinks from the first episode are like completely gone. It's just working at peak performance. And this is the one that if people are going to skip to an episode or skip to a game or movie or whatever, they're going to start with this one. And then there's a third one, which is it takes the pop elements, like the appealing parts of the second one, and increases them to a point where they become kind of fucking ludicrous in themselves. It's like this, like Star Wars. You have episode 1 or episode 4, The New Hope, which is like the rough one, and it's got some cool elements. It's got some lame elements. The Empire Strikes Back, which is the Star Wars everyone knows, and Revenge of the Jedi, which just adds Ewoks, or Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
which adds
fucking
Ewoks.
hell! Oh god,
add
D3
that
is my
up.
favorite of the trilogy. I'm the fucking equivalent of an Ewok fan? Oh god, I'm gonna go hang myself. Hold on.
In my mind, it's not always true that the second one is the best one. The second one is just the most popular one, It's the one
Holy
people will
shit.
skip. It's like Homestuck Act 5, versus and like Danganronpa 1 would be Homestuck Act 1 through 4. And Danganronpa 3 is I'm not gonna finish that analogy because I don't want to make you feel bad, Ken. But
They fucking crushed one of those fucking walker shits with a tree. I'm out.
I was gonna say
It'd be
Act
really
6,
funny.
but
It'd be really funny if Ewok fans called themselves Yub Nub Chats or something like that. That'd make me really happy in life.
What?
I will say opening up the
That's like the
Opening up the
lingo
what?
they use.
Opening
They
up
say
the
Yub
fucking what?
Nub and shit.
Opening up the possibility
Opening
to
up the what,
Danganronpa
Odd?
4, I guess you could probably split it up into like fourths, I guess, where like the third, I hate to bring up the dreaded webcomic, but Homestuck Act 6, not Act 6, all of it, but Act 6 up, excluding Act 6, Act 6. So the third, fourth of Homestuck is very much like the pop appeal of Danganronpa 3 that I'm talking about, It's like it's
I
peak
guess,
shipping,
yeah.
peak character introduction. It's got all of the elements of Homestuck everyone liked in Act 5, jacked up to fucking 11. Which means that to make a prediction for a hypothetical Danganronpa 4, if it ever exists, which it might not, I'd expected a Danganronpa 4 would sort of be like crazy weird, you know? Like Act 6 is crazy
I
weird.
really, and we are discussing V3 way more than we should be, but I really find it hard to top what they fucking did in V3.
Two-thirds of this podcast hasn't finished the goddamn trilogy.
Yeah,
that is upsetting. I know that Odd will come August when his gamer club re-meets, because one of them is my friend personally, and he has V3 because he bought it on the Steam sale for $32, which was a fucking robbery.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna like play through DR3 together with that group of friends, and I think after that we're probably going to switch to after that we'll probably have another podcast just for V3, probably with like all the people who aren't here right now, like Tyler. I don't know if
I'm going to make sure 100% that one's more concentrated, because I had full intentions to fucking get behind this one maestro, you know, make it a goddamn professional situation, but I goddamn woke up at 2 a.m. this morning and it's 6 now.
Oh,
Jesus,
did you sleep
Christ.
in that meantime?
I didn't.
You had so many hours to sleep again.
Ken, I'm not smart.
It's less of a matter of intelligence and more of your body just turning the automatic fucking off switch.
So,
Smart, man.
Back to the video game. So we go back to DR2, which is the most popular one, and it's got the elements of Danganronpa that everyone knows. The crazy executions, the wacky characters, the structure of DR2, basically for every fan fiction murder game that people write with their own characters or with other characters from other properties, will basically follow the template of Danganronpa 2 to a fucking T, you know?
Yeah.
Because Danganronpa 2 just did so many things right that it basically set up the standard for everything after, both in having like the detective character in the form of Chihiro, the gamer girl GF, who sort of slowly becomes like the lead love interest, in the form of like Komaida, who is like the meme character who his entire existence sends the plot off the rails in ways that even Monokuma never fucking predicted.
I just realized that I want to bring up the idea that would Komaeda still work as a character if he had Seth MacFarlane voicing him?
It would probably work more as a character.
Okay, well he has Bryce Papenbrook voicing him, which is like a close second. So yes, I think so.
What voice would he use to voice him? Would it be like his Stan voice, his Peter voice?
It would be the Brian voice, basically. I'm imagining. I can't
do it, but enough of Family Guy. I have not seen enough of Family Guy to do an accurate judgment. So
it would sort of transition into the Roger. Whenever he's going crazy, it would transition to the Roger voice, sort of.
My mental sound of Brian Family Guy's voice is him getting run over by a car.
My brother, he's like,
Hajime, our dog, Brian is dead.
Brother is 8 years old.
He's so despairing, 9. Hajime.
My brother is 9 years old now, and he's also autistic, but he makes me laugh really hard because he used to regularly reference both the Yukino Joe family simp video. He used to quote it, and he references the Brian Griffin death scene a lot.
Shit, that's great.
I'm really proud of him.
Raise your own fucking child. You're Bro Strider, and you're just literally throwing this kid off the fucking building if he doesn't quote the right Family Guy scenes.
Maybe
3 years later, Andrew Hussey retcons it. Was Crate abusive the whole time?
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Dude, Mini Crate has a fucking conversation with fucking real Crate. Or like fucking Crate gets reborn. He has a conversation with Mini Crate. You know, Crater's Creed, famed webcomic creator and fucking personality extraordinaire. People don't have character arcs.
I'd say that to post probably. Oh wait, people recording this don't know what post is. It's really okay. This is the last anecdote before we get back on topic. Dark green, seriously, feel free to cut whenever we're not on topic. I'll say this just as a funny. This morning I got post to insult Khan, aka the person in our little chat we don't like, and he didn't know I would screenshot it because the guy he didn't know I would screenshot it and send it, so I sent back the screenshot of me saying it, and the guy I don't like, he posting a little crying emoji, and the first guy says something like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gonna post it. I didn't want the ramifications. I didn't know insects could feel pain."
Oh shit! Shit!
It's really funny. Okay,
Oh my
seriously,
god!
Dark Green, either cut that out or I don't know. Okay, back on topic.
Speaking of, I didn't know insects can feel shit. Let us talk about Nagito motherfucking Komeda.
Oh, that's
So
what
the
this
thing with
podcast
Komeda.
is for.
So here are two things to know about a Komeda. Number one, Komeda is a sort of the accumulation of a decades-long Japanese anime / manga trope of the white-haired gay boy bastard child who seduces the lead. This is a serious statement. Watch Devilman Crybaby, watch Evangelion, watch fucking Play Pooey, whatever you guys want to do. There are so many examples of Komeda likes. I'll spam them all in the chat after this, and then DG can throw them in just so they can see the visual comparison between how many characters are just fucking Komeda.
I shot my wife, guys. One of those. Oh shit!
God.
Who is?
I feel like he's a bit too old for them, you know. But he has.
Wait, what?
He's about 37 in canon.
Character in a Crate's thing, psychoseptic. Not psychoseptic, but the thing he's gonna work on after it.
Yeah, he's pretty fun. He's like
Yeah, that's
anyways.
Josh
Yeah.
So
Komeda, fucking the dude from Evangelion, fucking what's his name?
Rio.
What's his ass? Everything has to have a twinky white-haired boy who wants to fuck the main protagonist raw, or wants to be fucked raw by the main protagonist.
And they want to destroy the universe as well. This is somewhat part of it.
Right.
The thing I like about
I wouldn't say they want to destroy the universe, as they have some weird ideal system to them. At least as far as I've observed, they're autistic about it, but they're fiercely confident. Just the only thing that holds them down is usually that.
What I love about Komeda as a character is that, like, he weirdly gets confidence in the worst way as the story gets on, you know? Like, I think about
Go on.
Think about him because at the beginning he's very much like, my ultimate luck sucks, and it's just a useless talent, and I'm not as good as you guys. And then by the end he's literally fucking hitting the spam button on his ultimate luck, you know? Like, at the beginning of the game he isn't using it consciously, you know? He like makes jokes about it.
Like, Komeda's confidence in his luck is one of the only things that he does have confidence in. He uses it to fucking pull the short straw to get into fucking to get cleaning duty.
Sorry, I'm cutting out right now, but you can...
So he uses the fucking he uses his luck. He uses his luck to grab the short straw in the fucking draw so he can get cleaning duty and place the knife under the table, which he's used in the first murder.
It's all right. Could you repeat a little bit of that part? Because I literally just cut out for like 10 minutes as we were giving me an explanation.
DG is gonna have to heavily edit this part. He does use his luck, and it is a central plot point that he does think his luck. He's quite confident in his luck, that because he just blindly trusted that he'd get the short straw, to get on cleaning duty for the party, so that he could place a fucking glowing knife under the table so that he could stab Fat Byakuya with it.
It's no mystery. Oh, go ahead.
I guess
Yeah.
the specifically the nature, because I feel like that's like an example of like where you sort of see his ultimate like kind of coming into play or whatever a little bit. But like I feel like compared to the bullshit he pulls out during Trial 4 and at the end of and during Chapter 5, I think it's very much
Yeah.
small fries. Like I feel like you sort of see, especially like after Komida figures out, basically gets the script to the story and figures out the main twist before anyone else. You kind of see Komida's mindset changing from being sort of like a stepping stone from hope to being hope itself, you know? It's a
Yeah.
confidence boost in the worst fuck. Like in the video recording at the end where he's literally like, build a statue to me, you fucking, like he thinks he's gonna be speaking to Chihiro, where he doesn't know it's or Chiaki at this point, or whoever the fuck trader would be. And so he's like, you build a fucking statue to me, kill Monokuma, who gives, I don't fucking give a shit, just tell me that I am the ultimate hope, you know, which is different from how it was at the beginning. And it's unclear if this is just Komida realizing what he really is, or if this is Komida like finally coming into his own because he realizes that basically no one else is going to do it but him, you know? He goes from being someone who pretends that he's the lowest of the low, even though he has a lot of skills in himself and he's more dangerous than basically anyone else there, to being someone who actively makes efforts to do crazy ass shit, you know?
I have a
Great, were you gonna say
similarly
something?
long tangent. I want
Go
to
for it.
discuss why. So it's no mystery that this podcast is this specifically. And you know what? I'll say the entire podcast, all the past episodes, it was just a gateway to talk about Komaeda. Can we all agree here? Can we put our hand in the middle and agree that this is just a means to discuss him?
I'm here for Junko, but we'll get to that later.
All right, so Komaeda is a very interesting character, and I think his skill set would. I think if you made like a short story, horror story about his skill set, or not skill set, I guess it isn't a skill more than it's like a supernatural force. If you made a short story about that, it would be pretty scary or some shit. Because at the same time, like Komaeda, he's this pale, terrible. He's like a noodle human, basically. he looks like his body it underwent black hole spaghettification and stopped midway.
I mean, that is kind of legitimately what happened to him, right? Like, his fucking parents died, but he won the lottery, but his, like, dog fucking died or something, but then he, like, won $1 million or something, but, like, a whole bunch of shit happened to him, and by the...
dog died! He's Stewie!
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God!
No,
Stewie!
but by the end of it, there's a reason he looks like a fucking noodle, and it's because he's got like fucking stage 3 cancer and dementia or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he has a frontal temporal dementia, or I think that's what it's called, where
yeah, it's a form of dementia.
I think it's like the personality part of the brain is dying. I think that's what it was. Something or other. But
unclear if this is
he's interesting in the fact that given if the story just played, if the killing game never happened, Komaeda would probably outlive the rest of his friends and everyone in the school but he would be there to suffer through it at the same time.
I hate to bring it up again, but you know what Komaida's powers are? Komaeda has Gamzee powers. He's a clown and he doesn't die because it's funny.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Except when he does die.
Except when he does die. But even then, he's like... Yeah, he has to want to.
Oh, God,
and,
you're
like,
right.
Even
he doesn't actually die because of the anime.
No. The anime is not fucking
I will say that even in DR2...
deal with it.
No, ignoring like, DR3 sucking ass. I still personally think that Komaeda survives at the end, because you brought up something to me that like made me realize that Komaeda almost certainly survives the events. Because doesn't Togami specifically...
It's a throwaway from either Negi or Togami that's like, you'd have to have a fucking 1 in a million chance to survive being brain dead. Like...
But I want to
But-
see how like everyone getting up from the alien goo pods for whenever they're first
Matrix
waking
pods.
up, and Komaeda slowly rises from it like the fucking Kalosaken video.
Nagi,
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Hajime, yeah. Galo Sengen. Yo, go,
Go!
Galo Sengen. I'm imagining like Hajime rises, he's covering up for fucking air. He looks down, it's the fucking body of Mahiru or whatever decomposing, he's fucking crying, and then Komaeda walks into frame. Like, hey guys, what did I miss?
He's holding a Smash Bros. Invite.
And he has the Infinity Gauntlet in the other hand.
He wouldn't
Fucking
hesitate
hell.
to snap
God.
it. He
No,
wouldn't
he
hesitate.
would
He'd be
not.
like,
Yeah.
Oh
Odd has
God,
pointed this
he'd
out
probably
before.
get all the
If Komaeda had the
faster
power,
than Thanos did.
he
Komaeda
would
could
have done
kill
it immediately,
half-
no hesitation.
you would
But
just
not
try to be
Oh,
like,
stepping stone for the way of hope.
Komaeda would not wait a goddamn minute. Like the and
you could use
he could get the fucking gems faster than Dance probably. Could
no,
he?
he wouldn't. He wouldn't get the. No, Jungle would do all of the effort faster than Thanos
Oh
would,
God,
and then
you're
Komaeda
right.
would steal them at the last second.
I hate that you're right.
He'd do the thing that fucking Iron Man did. Iron Man actually just pulled a Komaeda.
Jungle's like, I am inevitable, and
He would instead of snapping his fingers, he would just do he would do that sprite of him holding his arms as he laughs, and then it was all despair would wipe out.
Komaeda has the Infinity Gauntlet. He laughs. He puts the gun up with 5 out of 6 bullets in his head. He fucking points it at his temple, pulls the trigger. The gun actually goes off, and he just dies.
The gauntlet activates anyways.
The gauntlet activates regardless.
Oh God!
That is
Imagine
basically
if, like-
fucking Trial 5, isn't it?
Imagine if Komaeda there's a scene where like he trips her, like it's totally out of character. The scene's from out of nowhere. He trips or something, and he's just going, fuck, ow. It's out of character and horrible, and there's no reason that scene is in the game.
It's the Komaeda creepypasta, the secret chapter 3.5, where Komaeda trips and the screen goes blood red. He's like, he's screaming, this is it. All of my years of bad luck are catching up to me, Hajime. I'm dying of Terminal 7, Hajime. This isn't hope at all.
I think Danganronpa is one of those things where it would work work really well if all the characters also existed in like a sitcom or some shit.
Yeah, it really would. Especially with two's cast, because they are
Here's my question though: would Komaeda be a main
more
character?
crazy and more realistic than everyone.
Would he be a main
I already have
character?
the cast for Seinfeld, Danganronpa. Jerry is Hajime. Hajime is like, what's the deal with Demon Akuma? I just don't get it. So does fucking George Constanza. He's like, Hajime, I just came in the other day and Sonya didn't look at me. She just doesn't look at me. What Komaeda be? Let me look at the rest of the cast of Seinfeld. I don't actually watch Seinfeld, but I know the.
I've literally never watched a full episode of Seinfeld in my life. So
Elaine is my.
I have a box of Junior Mints right next to me that have Seinfeld branding on them.
Fuck? What?
It's fun.
Excuse me?
Anyways, here's
My
how
hero
the
is
skit would
Elaine.
go. I'm gonna agree there, yeah. And
Who would Komita be? Would Komita be Kramer or would he be Newman?
Newman's more pathetic in how weird he is. Komita is not pathetic. Is he? No.
Would Komita be Kramer?
He's a little bit
Komita-
pathetic. He's a little bit pathetic. Do you remember the fucking the scene where he has fucking liar fever and he's sitting in there fucking melting literally?
I thought you were
comes
gonna
in.
bring up the scene where he's on the floor and you had to feed him toast.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
Will you send me
That was
toe
pretty
pics,
No,
Hajime, for hope?
I was gonna say that that's not a scene where he's pathetic because he's basically alpha mailing Hajime and staring him down the entire time. He's coming at him.
Hajime, the Chad Maida.
Yeah, no. He did fucking freak Hajime out while he was on the goddamn floor. But no,
Funniest part of that
liar
scene
fever
is you actually hear Komita going, "Wait, no, come back, shit."
He's like begging for Hajime to just stay by his side, and Hajime's like, "You're fucking weird, dude."
Do people ship Hajime and Komita? Hajime, number one, his life would be infinitely better if Komita never existed or had died of cancer. And two, Komita doesn't even really like Hajime. Like, he loves him at the beginning, and then he finds out that he doesn't have a talent. And even if he found out what Hajime really became, would he even love the idea of fabricated talents? Would he even think that fabricated talent was something that you could even do? You know? Would he like the idea of a fabricated hope?
I mean, the ideal shippers...
there.
Ooh,
I think he did like Hajime as a person.
Ooh. Why is that, Crate? What evidence do you have to support your claim?
I did have evidence.
Komita is very horny for Hajime through most of the story. Like, I will say that.
But does he like him as a person, or is he just attracted to what he stands for?
Hajime doesn't stand for anything for most of the game. Komita died before he finds out, I think.
There's a struggle. This character, unironically, he has a lot of dimensions. I think there is some kind of internal struggle within him where he knows the shit he's doing is messed up that sort of dissolves as the story goes on. But I genuinely do think in his better mind, he did like Hajime as a friend.
I would like to think that too. The ideal version of Komita that, I would like is someone who learns to realize that, people aren't all just fucking symbols for whatever. But there's not a whole lot of canon Komita to work off of that supports that, even though I would really like it.
I will also say that if the beginning of the game had played out, period, like the one where the system actually went on his planet and Minomi just kept them all on the island, do you think that Komita would just straight up just Dark Strider candy epilogues himself?
Totally.
That's
no doubt about it.
In a world where like nothing has any inherent meaning and he can't ultimate hope himself in some elaborate grand scheme take over the reality, I mean save everyone from Monokuma, would Komita even have a point to live there?
Your take on Komita's need for relevance is one of the most interesting that I think I've ever heard. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone make that fucking argument before. That it was that basically once Komita found out that everything was a simulation, he wanted desperately for his actions to matter so bad that he fucking killed himself for it. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think it was more of him hating despair so much that he'd just fucking take himself out to, end it. But it is called into question a little bit by the fact that he wants people to build a statue of him.
I have to disagree because I think in his... I think what he's doing in his mind is like it's basically as noble as was what the protagonist is doing. I think that sort of it's more in his mind. It's a martyrship that he's willing to die for.
But is it a martyrship that he wants to die for? Like, does he want to be remembered as a martyr, or is he just doing it because it must be done?
I guess the question is, does he like hope for hope's sake, or does he like hope because he believes that hope is? Because the big thing, the problem with Danganronpa, or it's not a problem with Danganronpa, but it's actually a legitimate theme of Danganronpa, is that Hope Speak Academy frequently, constantly conflates the idea of talent and importance with the idea of hope. That is to say, the idea that only someone who is very good at things and is very important and is very powerful can ever possibly do anything meaningful that can be attributed to hope. This is the entire point of the Azuru plan in the first place. Kill all these worthless students so you can get one perfect super student. And Hajime feels worthless enough at that point in the life to go along with it. So
Makoto basically, he's
Makoto's
sort of
the
the living
antithesis to
proof that
that is bullshit. Like, he is literally some fucking dude who just walks into Junko's perfectly constructed plan and takes it all down because what the fuck ever. He's
literally
just some guy.
retard brute strength. He retard brute strengths it.
It's not even really his.
Like
it's more like he was lucky enough to get on Kirigiri, who was inexplicably so attracted to his dick that she carries the game through 90% of the game. And then at the end,
it's not inexplicable. It's not inexplicable. Kirigiri's and Negi's relationship is fucking Kino.
Yeah, it's a good relationship, but like through pure fucking cosmic coincidence, her mental deficiencies happen to be perfectly filled by the fucking Naegi-shaped hole in her heart. And it is by that coincidence alone that the universe is saved and Junko dies in R1.
I think back in the day when it's in one of my old notepads probably, I did a drawing or like a short comic of it was like when I first played the first one, which was I think it was like a month after I first played 2. It was a comic of Makoto, or no, it was Kirigiri and Scott Bakula on lawn chairs, and Makoto was in the middle, and the camera went behind, or the perspective went behind them, and he has a bald spot on his head, or like on the back of his head, and in the first panel, I think Kirigiri had a cigar in her mouth. And the last panel was her putting it out in his fucking soft spot.
Also, I'm posting Weed Knuckles right now. Weed Knuckles.
Oh my god.
They basically just used him for the sake of do what I say.
Do what I say. No.
Back on
my flimsy ass defense on, I guess we're calling him Count Bakula now, is that
Count Bakula.
In order for it to really seem like in order for it to really seem like Negi fucking saved people, even this one random dude gets to survive. Like, like in order to make sure that, he saved as many people as possible, including this one random civilian. It doesn't have to be people that are intricately connected to the plot. Just about anyone can survive. I think Danganronpa 2 does it a lot better, because while every surviving character had changed in some way, like every character had a case that's associated with them, except Soda.
Soda has moments. Like, Soda does things. He just doesn't take this.
I've never been more let down by a character than Soda.
Oh,
he finishes fucking FTEs, and I like his FTEs, but every time in the story itself, whenever he comes close to becoming a character, he trips over his own dick and falls into a trash can that gets put into a trash compactor that's going to kill them fucking Shiolata style. God.
No.
You made me think of
what?
Not Qui-Gon Jinn. Darth Maul's cut in half corpse falling down a pit. That's what it made me think of. That's how they killed him.
Cut in half by his own dick.
No. And the whole time he's falling down, he screams, "Sonia!"
No. Because I have this hypothesis that isn't really a hypothesis, is very proved by fact and easily explainable, that just whoever you do the free time events for in Danganronpa 2 you will like the character. Like, Danganronpa 2's free time events are fucking godly. They fix, and I told Odd this before he started. Every character will be fixed by their free time events, excluding maybe Hiyoko, because I'm not sure and I'm too afraid to look at her free time events.
If you do her free time events, the FBI is instantly summoned to your house. She is a sting operation, because there is no other reason to like Hiyoko if you do not want to fuck little girls. There is not one redeeming...
I have a friend that likes her ironically, and I don't know how much better that makes it.
Post the picture of her as a Minecraft, wearing the Minecraft hoodie.
Does anyone have a picture of just a Wojak of it? Just my hero crying? Because I need one of those to exist.
I feel
Let's
like
talk
it's
about
gotta
how
be in DRG.
Sonia
Someone's
and
gotta make it.
Babyfur are the same character.
Who?
Hold on, who was that?
Sonia.
Who was the same character? Babyfur and
Fish Lady from Webcomic.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that one.
Aridin is just better. Is just better soda.
Aridin is. Ooh,
it's more like if Aridin got split into two characters and one of them became Gundam and one of them became Soda. The good elements became Gundam and the bad elements became Soda.
That's not entirely true, because the FTEs do fix Soda.
Yeah, like he becomes
and
a
like,
character.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, it's not.
And this is going to make Peter absolutely fucking livid. But the FTEs even fix Akane. And Odd, as Odd relays to me, they fix her in a big way.
I forget, because I didn't realize they don't actually tell you Akane's backstory, and it feels kind of critical to understanding her as a character.
If you don't do Akane's free time events, she is awful. She's fucking terrible. I didn't do her free time events when I played DR2, and I came out really fucking hating her.
The joke, or the point of the thing with Akane is that she is literally like this poor girl from like the Japanese ghetto, which apparently exists for some reason. And
what do you mean the Japanese ghetto apparently exists? Are you telling me there's?
Yes, they needed a place to put the black people.
I don't know. Poor people exist. Poor people.
So Akane grows up in these like poor slums or whatever. Like her parents are dead. She grows up with like fucking 8 kids or whatever, so she has to support them all. She basically works as a waitress, where she gets basically incredibly sexually harassed, but she's too dense to realize. And then she starts stealing food or whatever, which is where she gets her gymnast skills from. And she's also too dense to realize that's a bad thing. It's like Aoi's denseness, which DR1 basically plays for her. Isn't it funny that she's so like oblivious to her own sexuality? But with Akane, it's more of like, isn't it oblivious that this girl is oblivious to the objectively terrible things that happen to her life? And it's these moments that bring her into like, this is why she likes to eat in the first place, because she doesn't want to feel what it's like to be hungry again.
That's the point of deconstruction. It is a subversion of expectations on the paper flat fucking shallow 2D brown girl with big tits.
I can't even waifu Akane anymore, because I just feel bad for. She's like a cool bro character, but I just feel bad. She is literally like fucking layers of like what's the type of rock or whatever, like she's like sedentary rock, where just layers and layers and layers of baggage pile on top of each other into a thin fucking layer, you know? A fine fucking crust.
Unlike other Jared Leto Joker damage tattoo on the forehead characters like that, she just doesn't give a shit, really.
She just kind of keeps going, and she's probably better off for it, and that's what makes Akane as a character work. And none of this is even hinted at in the story itself. You just do not get any of this.
None of it. And that is the central problem with DR2, and especially its survivors, because if you don't, like, think about it from, because I think I only did Fuyuhiko's FTEs of the survivors. And if you step back, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible here, really, if you don't do any of their FTEs, Fuyuhiko is the only fucking remotely likable one.
I feel like Sonia has a character arc too. Like her moments with Gundam happen in the main story. Her moments, like, Sonia works very much in her own.
I guess so, but I really think that without it, she just seems like a fucking boring accessory for Gundam Tanaka.
Everyone is a
Great.
boring accessory for Gundam Tanaka.
Okay, that's fair.
We're
Great,
boring
great. What is-
accessories for Gundam.
Great. What is your opinion on Gundam Tanaka, aka Megatron Jones, aka Based Chunibyo?
He's okay. I thought
Oh shit!
his what?
Now
will
you
say
and all
that-
outnumber me.
I love the memes, but Gundam only becomes like an interesting character, much like Celeste, seconds before dying.
No, I sort of disagree with that. I found whenever I did some of his FTEs, so I'm maybe
Oh.
biased. But I actually am not biased because I said he's just okay. But no, I always felt he had a weird depth to him as just the weird, endearing autistic man. I found
mean-
maybe it's the way I was viewing the game at the time, where I was deconstructing it in my head already and making it funny. Where I think through the whole game, once I got a feel for his character, I literally just imagined all the other characters staring at him, really bored whenever he's going on about shit, and that made me like him.
It's pretty accurate, actually, to the actual story, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a moment during like the cross swords with Gundam where he says something completely fucking incomprehensible, and you're like, wait, what the shit? What sword do I even use to cut this statement? And then you have to get Hajime to translate it for you after it's done.
Oh my god.
That is fucking
Holy
incredible.
shit.
And like, if you do his FTEs, which I did all of course, he reveals that most of his, like, you ask him about his hobbies, and like he answers a bunch of bullshit before he gives you the real answer, and it's running his website, which is the funniest fucking thing.
This is DR2 is a masterpiece, but best game. Actually, I have to revoke its
Okay,
masterpiece
you know
status
what?
for. We'll get to her later.
Yeah,
You already know who I'm gonna bring up.
go for it. Say her name.
I'm gonna bring up Junko.
Oh!
Odd, you have to tell about your fucking mind break with Junko Enoshima.
Which one?
The first one, taking rewinding
so
all the way back to DR1.
Rewind back to when I was when the gang, it was like 2 a.m. or whatever. I messaged Ken, almost doxed him for a second there. I was messaging Ken or whatever, like, hey, should I play a DR1 video game rather than anime? And Ken screaming at me, don't watch the anime's bad. And I'm like, I respect Ken's opinion. So I'm like, you know what? I have all my friends like Ken and Ken Circle at the school I'm at, and then also my friends, the gamer club, so to speak. Why don't I combine them, since everyone's interested in seeing how my reaction to DR1 are into one cohesive group chat? $3 fucking bucks is the what I named the group chat. I call it Junko Junkies. It's Junko Junkies. I found a picture of Junko off the internet. Yeah.
So
this was
The entire-
mind you, this was chapter 2? 3?
Yeah, chapter 2.
When you
It was chapter
named
2.
our group chat, Junko Junkie, you had no knowledge of the mastermind. You had no knowledge of the twist. You just liked Makuro Ikusaba's appearance as Junko because she reminded you of the bitchy dom girl you always wanted, who cares a little bit about your feelings secretly. And you were upset she got
You all
murked
are
early
such
because it was fucking
faggots.
unfair.
You're all so goddamn gay.
This is what unironically.
I'm a fucking church kid compared to you guys. I'm running around throwing posies and shit with goddamn church socks on in fields. My
Really?
Amish father calling me
My
to the
favorite part of-
fucking house supper.
Are the moments where Crate kind of has to
Sunday
take a step
best.
back. Anyway, so that's the first mind break. So obviously during trial 6, when I'm doing the investigation 6,
No, it wasn't trial. Yeah.
there was a point that I posted. I found the image or whatever, the point in the story where they find the freezers where they're keeping all the bodies in. I counted them by hand, and that was when I fucking snapped. Cue the rest of Trial 6, which is just a...
We have been hinting, us in Gamer Club, that you cannot Google Junko Inoshima. You cannot do it. And Odd was like, oh yeah, I guess, whatever. Fucking weird that she's behind a fucking Google wall, despite the fact
I understood that because
whatever.
I knew that I pretty much figured out the plot twist of DR1 a while back. I knew that we would be seeing pictures because when they started showing pictures of Chihiro and stuff, I assumed that of all the gang or whatever when they were back, I assumed that would be the thing that we couldn't see about Junko. It was when I started counting them and realized that there was someone who wasn't dead that I realized that my life was going to fucking end.
Oh, no. I hate breaking the flow
and then
of the podcast for a second. But can you look in the use this when you voice chat channel? It's Hajime, Komaeda, and
what the fuck?
It's them.
Where do you work out? The library. The library, Hajime. Great fuck is your mind, Hajime.
It's them.
Chiaki just makes grunting noises, incomprehensible squeaking.
That's what she does in the plot too.
Chiaki, you have to fucking memorize it and use that as a fucking truth bullets later on. No, allow me to cut through those words. Remember, Chiaki said.
It'd be funny if it was Banjo Kazooie noises.
Yes, Jack, I agree.
It would it's like Chewbacca where everyone can understand her except the audience.
Komaeda can't understand her. Monokuma is very confused whenever she's talking.
Monokuma, there's scenes where Monokuma gets out of character and genuinely upset with Chiaki. He'd be going on about his new crazy plan, and she'd sort of lean into him, and he'd be like, "You fuck no, get away,
hey,
someone handle her, someone." Oh, by the way, this goes back to my topic that Hajime is just the ultimate Tard Wrangler.
Come on, Chiaki, we have to be here with the rest. Hey. Soda, stop trying to squeeze Sonya's boobs. No. Hey. No, you stay here, Chiaki. Komaeda, what are you doing with those scissors? No.
Imagine being beat to death while the hey sound effect plays.
Hiko, stop crying.
I'd be okay with dying then.
Yoko's just fucking crying. I need my diaper changed. Yeah. Yoko, you're 14. You can do this by yourself.
20.
Hey. Komaeda, let go of her.
No, Komaeda, he's the evil one. He knows he can get away with it.
Oh my god.
Komaeda's mom always comes in and she's always like, Komaeda, you're just a sweetheart. You're so good. Or his aunt or whatever, since his parents are his aunt or whatever. It's Komaeda is such a good boy. He suffers so much. And you have Hajime fucking bags under his eyes. Komaeda fucking sticks his tongue out at him as he's leaving from daycare. Hajime just flips him off.
He puts out his goddamn sig on Chiaki's arm.
She doesn't even react, and she's just like, hey. The cigarette's going down.
How the fuck do we even get back on topic after this shit?
We were on this.
We haven't talked about
Junko.
Ibuki. Oh,
We'll get to
Junko
Woohoo.
first.
We'll get to the two characters. Yeah, we'll get to the two characters I want to talk about in DR2 afterwards.
So naturally during Trial 6 I get fucking ass blasted because I fell for the Junko meme. But then afterwards, I'm flipping through my phone and I noticed something wrong. I noticed something weird. There's a picture of Junko on my phone from 2017.
Oh no. Was it
So
your
despair,
fault?
Junko.
Now remember
Doing
that
the
Odd
crazy
played
eyes.
this game in what, fucking June? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Junko on his phone from probably the time that the DR3 anime was airing, where she's doing
It has her
crazy eyes.
It has her with the crazy eyes. So yeah, I found that someone probably posted it somewhere on 14 or whatever, and I saved it, not knowing it was like everything I touched was my future ass blast.
Why did you save it? Why'd you save it?
Like it was
doing
funny because like
crazy
haha,
eyes. It's funny.
funny girl with the derpy eyes XD, and
Yeah.
it was like a funny
I
haha
don't-
picture. I
don't think that's why you saved it. I don't think that's.
It was a zoom in of Junko's face. Shut the fuck up. We'll get to
I
that
don't
part later.
think that's why you saved it, though.
I didn't know at the time. You can't prove it. Anyways, so flash forward to when I'm playing DR2, and I basically got spoiled early on that Alter Ego Junko is in the game, but I assume early on that it's more of a form of like all the characters from DR1 come back in some form as alter egos, or it's a minor point of the story. Turns out he's the main bad guy again. Yeah, that's a thing that happened.
It's always Junko! It's always Junko! In DR0, it was Junko! In fucking another episode, it was fucking mini Junko!
I'm assuming it's Junko in V3,
Junko.
But I'm not entirely sure how.
I cannot answer you!
V3 is... we're gonna get to V3. We're gonna get to V3.
Yeah, it was a massive
That's
meme in the
gonna be the second episode I'll hold Dark Green hostage for.
Yeah, the Junko is responsible for everything was like an enormous meme in the fandom. I hope you realize.
It was me, Hajime! I was the turkey! I was Fennel, Hajime! I did it!
Yeah, basically just that. That concentrated X1000.
Oh god,
Don't you want to fuck me, Komaeda? Don't you want to kiss me, Komaeda? Whew. And you're telling me that...
God.
Can't stop adding picture.
God. What the fuck is that?
It's the fun mascot characters.
Monokuma's face looks like fucking Sawbuck. The fucking felt character.
I don't know why I draw like this. I think I have brain back.
Just fucking Monokuma.
Junko is a necessity villain, especially in DR1. She is there because the plot of DR1 is ridiculous, and it needs someone just as ridiculous to make it all happen. Like, they wanted to tell the story that didn't involve Junko, so they needed Junko to make it happen.
I will say, though, that Junko in DR2 is such a tremendous improvement, shut the fuck up, Crate, over DR1 Junko, shut the fuck up, Crate, for various reasons. Namely, in her characterization, shut the fuck up, Crate.
Oh, man. My chest hurt.
Namely, in that she actually has a personality.
When are we getting Medi, not the bad guy, on this podcast? Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now, for real.
You can get to the blast the fuck out of Odd point once I finish the real quick statement on Junko actually gets because she has all of her personalities and stuff, like all of her ridiculous little side tangents she goes on as well, but like her core personality is just like this depressed, cynical, kind of sarcastic and very ironic, fucking nihilistic, witty, and a wicked sense of humor. No, but like she has like a very dry sense of humor to her, and it makes her entire character built around, like, I understand Junko now, you know? I can see how someone like Junko could exist, even if it's a very fabricated, exaggerated personality. And all the personalities she puts on are more along the lines of, like, you know, personalities it puts on for fun. But, like, the actual core Junko exists. We see a lot of her. We see her interact with other characters. We see how the other characters react to her. She feels like she exists within the universe, not just as an abstract thing. And I almost think that DR1 could have used more of that side of Junko, you know? Like, she can be still a symbolic villain, but, like, doesn't have to suck. All right,
Yeah,
Crate,
no,
Ken, you can have your...
there's a certain quote
You know what?
from Alter Ego of Junko that I wanted to pull up that involves the word despair. So I went to her wiki page on the fucking Danganronpa wiki, Control F despair, 62 results.
Good.
62.
How did you not
not
expect
even that
that?
long. I mean, I expected it to be high, but like.
Control F on Komida's page. Hope page window breaks. All right.
Man,
Great.
this is absolute despair. I feel despair upon despair and despair toward despair. Junko Enoshima, Danganronpa 2.
Did you ask
I have
something?
nothing. Go.
I think it's the part where Crate takes the stage. All right.
Oh, I want to talk about Ibuki.
Thank God. Okay. Great. Before I interject with my very strong feelings about Ibuki Miyoda, how do you feel about Ibuki Miyoda?
He's all right, entertaining, I guess.
God,
I don't.
damn it!
It would be funny for a minute, and if I was in a room with her, and then I'd leave.
God damn it! Odd is the exact same
What?
way.
You feel the exact same way?
I guess my thing with Ibuki personally is just like she feels like a worse version of Genocider Jill. And Genocider is such an unfathomably top tier character that I can't even take any similar comparisons.
I like how she
ignoring the fact that her name is fucking great because it's a combination of all of the 4 fucking main K-On! Characters just jammed into one.
It is?
Like, okay, I have entirely selfish reasons for liking Ibuki as much as I do, which is that she is the fucking holds up Spork XD fucking random ass DeviantArt girl GF that I wanted back when I was like 7.
I will say that she is she does make me feel very nostalgic for that trope, which I never thought I'd feel. I miss the Ibukis of the world. I miss them.
God, me too, man. Me too.
I wish Ramona Dead Darkness Ebony Raven Way was real.
I watched. Oh God, Ibuki would watch Smosh.
Ibuki absolutely watches Smosh.
Oh
she
God,
probably still watches Ray William Johnson if he's a zombie by now.
Yeah. Oh God, who's the other one? And if she's not the bowl cut one.
She's not the bowl. I don't know. The character I wanted to bring up after Ibuki was Mikan Sumiki.
Oh no.
Oh. I can't imagine. No. I feel like the thing about Mikan is that, like, even if her FTLs make her, even if her free time events FTEs make her a good character, the fact that you actively went to Mikan for an FTE with her characterization in the base game itself says terrible things about you as a person. You have to look inside your heart and go, like, why did I click on Mikan? Why? Why did I say yes to Mikan?
Find her funny. That's all I'll say. Except
what did you say?
I find her funny.
Because I also have no particular.
I imagine funny cartoon noises whenever she gets hit. I think I like this game a lot because I make a humor of it.
Yeah.
Seems to be a trend.
No, I have a friend who is a girl, for that matter, who has relatively sensible taste for like the most part.
Okay,
Who
bro.
really
Okay, hook
likes.
me up with her, bro.
No.
Seriously, bro. Give me your Discord though.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Give me your. I'll talk to you after the show, bro. Don't worry.
If she makes it this far in the podcast, then and she consents to having your Discord, I will send it to her.
Remember the time you put me in a pen with a bunch of ravenous Steven Universe fans?
Related image of Junko and Ashima being posted right now.
There is
no connection.
Yeah, no,
Oh no.
Yeah, who really likes Nikon, and get prepared for this. When we both were like really big into Danganronpa in like freshman, sophomore-ish year of high school, her big ship was Nikon and Komeda.
Oh no! Why are you friends with them?
No, she's legitimately fucking great. I like her a lot. And like she had
I take back my request.
She Oh, JP is going fucking wild in chat for Big Junko. Okay. So like
okay, this is the last piece of art.
There was some legitimate reason as to why she liked Komamiki so much, but I can't fucking fathom it.
I guess
like
is it violent fucking brain damage?
I will say that, you know what Komeda would make a good ship with? Unironically, Junko.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because they're both horrible people who are super fucked in the head.
They would kill each other.
They would like have the most furious.
Isn't that the point?
They would have the most furious black romance, which is a Homestuck word. I'm not saying anything race-based. It's just specifically like they would and fucking hate love all the fucking time.
Why does it matter if you say anything race-based? You are a race-based.
Oh god, oh fuck.
What the fuck does that
mean? I mean, at a certain point of view, we are all race-based, are we not? This is, by the way, the most diverse Babyfur cast I think we've actually ever had.
We talked about Komaeda a lot.
No, what was I saying? Right, like her. I'm looking at some of the fucking justification from fucking Komamiki shippers. It's like, because Komeda would hypothetically like need someone who actually fucking cared about him. And Mikan would like cares about others more than herself too, so like she would fucking go fucking ham on pulling Komeda. It's this whole thing that almost made me feel justified, and I almost shipped it for a while, and then I just kind of forgot Danganronpa existed. But I'm just pulling this ship up because I want you two to know in your heart of hearts that it exists and it was a thing.
I think it's been like 2 hours apparently. I think we should start drawing the curtains, you know, you know what? We're going to do a part 2 of this.
I want to talk about one more character and then we can wrap up shop.
Right, yeah.
Odd, are you still with us or do I need to
Yes, I just had a real quick interruption for a second. I'm back. I just muted it for a second.
All right. Odd, what do you think about Fuyuhiko?
Probably the objectively best boy that isn't Hajime in the game and also possibly the series. Fuyuhiko literally does
opinions. Crate, you have opinions on small angry boys.
Boss Baby is a legitimately good character.
It's mixed opinions. The character, because he takes some
Ooh.
of what I don't like about the car man, and he takes and somehow he still does that character arc better. And I say, oh,
Briefly explain what the fuck you're talking about.
oh, I like Carcat from the webcomic Homestuck. It was my trademark for a while. It was my trademark for a while.
Yeah. What does he take from Karkat that you don't like? I'm interested.
He's like the worst, most washed down versions of his insults, which is maybe a translation thing, maybe a rating thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's less.
I mean,
it's not that he says less. It's not that he's less obscene than Karkat. It's that he's less eloquent than Karkat. Karkat turns his insults into an art form. Fuyuhiko is just mad at people, you know?
Yeah, Karkat's an artist. Fuyuhiko isn't. That and
Fuyuhiko whips out his dick and just rubs it all over the canvas.
His design isn't that good. I don't like his hair. I think they could have done that.
Do you think the reason why he looks? Do you think his cuteness also maybe reminds you a little bit too much of ooh woo soft boy Karkat? Look at my precious boy.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to mention it, but that's the biggest part of it. Stab
he
some
does
goat ears on the dude, and I would kill myself instinctively.
Hold on a sec. Let me find something that's gonna make Creep
I
actually
would
die.
double down, and I would double into a fucking industrial grade meat grinder.
If I posted what I just posted right now,
I see it. I'm looking at it. I don't like it. I don't.
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna level with you. I don't like it none. I'm finding it scary. I'm not gonna explain what it is.
I also found some pictures of Dave Karkat inflation.
Oh, please don't.
No, don't be Dobson.
It's very silly and not sexual, so I'm just gonna post it right now.
Fucking hell. Dude, DGE is going to ban your ass, and I'm not going to stick up for you.
DGE he can inflate himself.
He's like a balloon. He's just for you.
So just to round up.
Yeah.
My last thoughts on it are posted a picture in chat. Junko Enoshima is very big in DR2. That's good. Refuse to make any more comments.
I'm gonna need that as an audio clip. Thanks.
No.
Yes, let's round up. We talk about Komaeda a lot. Komaeda is a very interesting character, lots of dimensions.
Komaeda is very interesting. We didn't talk about Chiaki at all.
What the fuck is there to talk about?
I like her as a character, but
Odd ended up liking her.
I really do. I think it's just like obviously the bait waifu of the game. And it's very funny that Kirigiri survives in DR2, DR1, so they have to kill fucking Kirigiri lookalikes, 2 of them. But like on a fundamental level, I don't think there's anything wrong with Chiaki as a character. Like she serves her purpose very well. She's very cute. She doesn't really have that many flaws, but she also doesn't really do that much. She doesn't carry the plot nearly as much as say.
Either. There isn't much wrong with Dirt either. Or like I don't know. Like Salt isn't much wrong with Salt or like the color green.
My opinions on Chiaki are very basic because I can't really she is a meme for gamers and I fell hook, line, and sinker for the fucking bait. So I am unable.
Sing the song.
I am unable.
Sings prominently in her own video game appearance. I'm an Alabama gamer and I want to be free. Just want to play Halo 3. I don't drink
I just want to
I
play
want to ride her
video
Fortnite
games.
bus.
That's actually her execution in
Yourself
Danganronpa 3, the anime. That just play that song plays in the dungeon at loud volumes while she fucking stumbles through
like
it, bleeding to
the
death.
Obama video a lot. Okay, if I don't put my foot down and end this, it's gonna go on for 2
We're
years.
just going to go on forever. Okay, all right.
All right, I was
Final
your
thoughts on Danganronpa as a
debatably.
series.
Oh, go ahead.
Next time, should we next time? This will probably be the second episode. Will be a little while from now because we'll have to wait until I'm done with DR3, which is probably like beginning of September-ish.
I think V3 is also the longest game out of the 3, so have fun.
God damn it! Yeah, so like once V3 is done, we can also talk about that. I know me and Ken and I had a conversation about the fucking never-ending nightmare that is 3 the anime, and of course the never-ending more nightmare, or slightly less nightmare actually, that is
We'll do
Ultra
something
Despair Girls.
in between. Maybe we'll even do something fun in between when we actually have more people that have played the game available.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We might do like I don't know, a fun spectacular or something when
You
like,
know what we
Chris
could
and
do?
Ty are on here.
We could like do
What?
like a little funny haha, because I know me and Ken have been doing this with some of our real life friends. A funny
Oh,
haha Babyfur Danganronpa murder. Like we could literally just spend some time theorizing how that would go.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
probably.
fucking great.
Let's do that next time.
Fortunately,
Let's do that next time.
Alright,
Let's
so,
let's
Sounds like a
submit that there
great
will be a
autistic
next
time.
time.
I'll look forward to it.
All right, so Ken, Crate, you sign off.
I was your debatably charismatic host, Kratos Creed. Then you, Ken. Who are you?
Who am I?
Other than a gay
I
ass
am more
bitch.
concept than man.
I am
Ken,
the Lightbringer.
I am Ken, known by my Twitter username as I don't exist and this podcast never happened, but I will be on at another one probably.
My name is Odd. Zero or Digiti. Junko Anashima. Pretty good. I'm not Medi. I'm not the bad guy. I am the bad guy. And
All right, I'm signing off.
I don't know. You might.
This was fun. Well, good night, baby fur people. Various baby men. This was Danganronpa Part 1. There's gonna be a 2. It's gonna be funny. I'll be in it probably. At least 2 more other people will be in it. That was the podcast.